Christianity.
And hello, welcome back. It's time. Sorry, I had to run. I had to go grab something. Welcome back, Legends. Might Otaku, thank you for following. I hope you've enjoyed it. I saw you in chat for a little bit. I hope you've enjoyed. This is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Asher, in the Great Hall of the Great Temple of Light in King Haven. Asher conversing with Head Mother Catherine, you see, surrounded by several paladins who've kind of like slowed him down on his rampage through to speak with one of the temple mothers, finding that it is his aunt, Head Mother Catherine of the Temple of Light. You see him still holding Eden in his hands, in his arms, as he kind of collapses to the ground. Catherine kind of speaks out as their conversation continues on. I'm sorry, but there is nothing that we can do. I know that is not true. I've seen the temple do far greater resurrections in their time. For people who should mean less. Such magics cannot be used on one of her bloodline. You wouldn't even try. I wouldn't. You knew this was going to happen. The order, too. Clearing out the Temple of Light in Goldmount, just as I arrive. That Baylor I fought. It had a holy enchanted sword. You were targeting her. After I understand, it was all a tragedy. But look at it as a new beginning. A new opportunity to return to the light. Return to the light. Is this how the light operates now? Then I want no part of it!
Briar is going to use this moment to lean over to Coel. How far distance-wise am I from one of the temple women?
You're probably about 50 yards up.
Oh,
and then
great.
Yeah, so you're probably like 60 to 70 yards away.
That's not good. I'm going to lean over to Coel. This is exactly what I am talking about. And I'm going to whisper, but I'm speaking loudly for audience, right? So I think I'm going to go down there and try to possess her into trying to resurrect Eden, or at least one of her lessers. This is not okay. This is not right.
She kind of puts her hand on your chest and is like, up here. She grabs a boob. She grabs a boob. No, it's kind of like a.
No,
are you sure this is a good idea? Were you saying that loud enough that Martison would be able to hear you as well?
Yeah, I would have yanked him. I'm like, if he's with us,
he's like
with us.
I agree. Fuck them. And Quel's kind of like, don't know if that's such a good idea. It's dangerous. The Temple of Light, they have a lot of power.
And you need them more than they need you, right?
At the moment.
Ill. If you want to go, you can. Because I think you might have to drag me out, or at least try. I don't think I can leave Asher here like this. They start the tieflings. They move on to the elves. They hit the gnomes. They hit the halflings. Until all that's left is humans. They go after the magic users. So that they occupy, they control everyone who can do the healing. So where
You need
can
to
Asher
understand
even go?
that anything done against them only further proves their point. They use it, they turn it around and weaponize it against you. Anything that you do in their presence against them, they will use against you and further their own cause.
And if Asher explodes and tries to kill these people,
I don't think that's something Asher would do. He's a good man. You kind of, peering over again, you see Asher holding Eden. Begins to make his way to the exit. The escort of paladins on either side, 2 on each side. And you see Head Mother Catherine look at one of the priests. One of the priests brings over a mop. There's hardly any blood from whatever, but it's like more of just like a there was a presence there, and it could have been blood, but it was just like a tainted presence kind of thing, that where they just mop up where he was.
taking note, writing everything down. I am too far away.
It's about 180 feet-ish from where you are.
Too far. Even if I try to do Crown of Madness and use her people against her, I'm too far. Okay, I'm going to document history. That's what I'm doing. That is my purpose here.
Okay.
I'm going to hold Quell's hand.
She kind of squeezes your hand. She's disturbed as well. Do you think that was true?
You know, it is true. This is not the first time the Temple of Light has tried to interfere just because she's a tiefling. This is why I needed you here. I needed your help to get here. The history is often told by the victors. They have mass control. I am here to see the truth once and for all.
How would we prove that they did that? I mean, Asher has operated through the temple and the Order of Heroes. And they would both betray him?
We have witnesses. Sure, Mortison isn't the most reliable. No, I don't
Thank
really
you.
have a... and I'm just gonna nudge him. Unfortunately, I'm liking this fuck. But don't discount yourself. You have seen the face of someone who has been cloaked in their intentions. You have seen the truth for yourself.
She didn't admit to anything. She simply said that it's something that couldn't be done, or at least wouldn't.
But it is something that could be done. Something she's choosing not to do. She is capable. When we were in Lake Grasp, is she the one that saved the day? No. You know who sat there as it was just us versus the world? It was myself and Rowan. And then with Amansar, we all worked together to make the cure to save the entire town, not the Temple of Light. We helped distribute because they were able hands. Were they the source? No. Did they take all of the credit? Yes. But your heart lies where it lies. You can choose to believe them, but I am imploring you, and I'm going to put my hand around the back of her neck and put my forehead next to hers. Imploring you to believe me.
We have butted heads with the Temple of Light for some time now. All of them, the Order of Heroes, the Temple of Light, and the Crown, constantly dancing and stepping on each other's toes. The Crown just finds it all maddening. But they each have their own strong opinions, and they often clash. We've tried our best to come to a middle ground. They have some ordained, hardened magic users within the Order of Heroes and some ordained lessons and such, but they're getting more and more strict on those.
They are, but I learned from one of them that not all of them hold to the Temple of Light. They serve
Truly.
in it, but
Even our Kazrak has not been spared the scrutinous eye. I mean, they understand they have to tread lightly, but that doesn't stop them from treading. It doesn't stop them from prying and being a nuisance just to hinder any kind of progress.
Can you think of anyone you might know could be powerful enough that isn't for healing, that isn't with the temple? Something like that. It's okay if you don't, but
I don't know anything of those sorts.
Marty?
I can help people feel more rested when I play my music. But not necessarily bring anybody back from the dead. Not someone who's been dead for, I suppose, well over a week.
Are they still down there talking, or have they dismissed themselves, the mother and her maidens?
The mother has already left. The priest that came over and was mopping up the floor there has already finished as well. It's kind of an empty temple now.
Okay. Thank you for keeping me from jumping down there, giving me something else to think about.
I'm sorry, it comes from a lifetime of being cautious of the different moving parts of a delicate kingdom.
I'm very used to delicate moving parts. My dad is, with his job, I'm used to it, so I understand where you're coming from.
I appreciate you taking my words of caution seriously.
Always. Let's go back. Gone for a while.
Maybe we can actually freshen up now, because I am sweaty.
Probably a good idea. You know, you still have my mother's ghee. I might need that back.
I can do that.
No, not to you.
Uh,
I lent it to Il.
Oh, yes. That's in my room.
Mm.
It's a straight up.
Can't help it. Okay, let's go back.
All right, you guys make your you guys do actually go tidy up and freshen up a little bit, make your way in, returning back to the party as the Ace and King Cantonias and Kazrak are returning to the table finally.
Rowan's gonna wave at Bree as she comes back. But from that, I think Rowan, the entire time he's sitting at the table, is really watching people. That's something he's really good at. He likes to watch and notice changes and consistencies. I think he'd be doing that with everybody at the table, the queen, anybody else.
Anything
Hardgar.
specifically you're looking for?
I think like abnormal, just weird, just like
Okay, go ahead and roll
out of
perception.
character.
Anybody else like to try to look? I don't know. I'm sure Ace is probably real distracted, so there's that.
Mm-hmm. You're still leaving.
17.
17. Nothing odd as far as like people's behavior at the table. Queen Bellabeth seems like she's a little bit like she maybe feels a little bit uncomfortable that King Cantonias keeps leaving the table and there keeps being like this business at the table. She feels like, you know, people are being rude to the guests and stuff, and then she feels like she has to kind of like uphold the conversation a little bit. So it's a little uncomfortable in that regard. Hargar is just Hargar. The something else that you notice, it kind of like catches your eye, is the abnormally glistening metal that the cup that the king is drinking from. It glistens on its own even without sunlight around.
I think Rowan eating his food, and then he like sees that, looks to, I'm sure at the time Karan's probably getting up from the table. He'd look to Asher and try to like make eye contact with Asher inconspicuously, and then just kind of do like a quick eye shifts towards the chalice.
I'm assuming Asher would be able to catch on to
Yeah,
that,
sure.
considering it's...
Look over here.
Yeah. Asher's just gonna kind of big eyes look back over at Rowan and be like, and then try to like look around, and I'm guessing Bree's back in the room now, and just be like, kind of make eye contact with Bree, and then the chalice, and then Rowan, and then Bree.
So much going on.
Do anything.
It's okay. It's
Look.
okay. You're fine. You look great. You look great. And Rowan's just gonna his eyes still shifting to the chalice.
Cool, do you have a moment?
Perception check?
And as Queen Bellabeth says, Coel, do you have a moment? She dismisses herself from the table and takes Coel and takes her out into the main hall that you guys initially walked through when you came in. And they converse.
Guys. Oh wait, does this mean Hargar's still there? Yeah, I should be more observant, yeah.
He's there, yeah.
Oh, cool. I'm just gonna slip. I'm not tracking the chalice thing. I'm just gonna slip my notebook to, like, Asher. Good reading. In the toilet. Yeah, you should probably read it now. You know,
Right.
like right now.
And
Go
Asher
to the
will
toilet
start
and read this
reading
book.
Through.
Well, you don't have to go to the toilet. You could read it now. But like, it was very good reading.
Really shouldn't take books from the toilet and bring them
Oh,
out.
it was my own. I was just like so inspired while I was sitting there. You know.
He'll try to like covertly read it, not like making a big fuss about it, but like just kind of glance through the pages and see if he can figure out. And then he'll just stop and be like, and look over to Asher and be like, or look over to Rowan and Bree and be like, well, that's Rowan. Later on tonight, you should take a look at this.
Oh, is it a good read?
It's
You guys are the worst dinner guests ever.
yes. I mean, I'm imagining they're still making small talk while Asher's like going through it.
No, it's just
and then-
Hardgar. It's just Hardgar.
No. At this point, King Cantonais has returned as well. King
It's Hardgar and
Cantonais
Cantonais.
is finally like sitting down now. Kazrak has returned to his study. He's not eating with you guys. Yeah.
Because I imagine we were all making, awkward small talk of like,
yeah, sure. There's
the king.
conversations going on. Yeah. Oh, king business is just king. Woo, so much king to do and kinging.
And while they're doing that, Asher's gonna quickly like thumb through it, and then he'll kind of pass it over to Rowan and be like, "Read this later," kind of, and then go back to the dinner conversations.
Rowan would take it, close it, and put it in his backpack. Just kind of little slip it in. That's right by the table. Hardgar. The hand. That must be quite a title. How did you move up in the rankings to?
I served my country well. During the war against the orcs, I played a integral part in ending that. And I brought back exquisite gifts for the king, and I guess I played my cards right. King Cantonais kind of... Yes indeed.
What are your thoughts on the current invasion?
They are trying once more then, aren't they? I've heard. I've rallied what troops I can and sent them that way. I have also decreed to build a new watchtower and garrison on that southern tip. It seems to be the same route that they've taken last time. We should have known better. That was my father's foresight and my brother after him. I intend to ensure that that doesn't happen again. Once we drive them out this time, we will build a garrison and reinforce that wall so that they cannot just march up through the eastern side of the Kingslands of Esmond.
Asher, knowing that probably shouldn't say too much more, is just gonna be like, "That's."
You're like, yeah, you could have fucking done something sooner.
Yeah, he's just gonna like go back to eating and be like, "Well, hopefully, it gets resolved relatively soon. A lot of good people lost everything in that invasion," and he's just gonna,
That's none of my business.
Sorry to be crass here. Have you guys discussed about the reward or payments, or?
As King Cantonais is like taking a drink from his chalice, he's like, Kind of spits it back into the chalice a little bit.
Oh, that's a shining cup.
Thank you. It is part of the treasure that Hagar brought. It was a very precious metal that he came upon. And we turned it into various items for the crown. Payment. Right, I'm sorry, forgive my manners. There's lots of business to.
Yeah, sorry, that
through.
was probably rude of me, but we just kind of shoot straight from the hip because.
So by this point, Coel and Elabeth have kind of returned to their seats in the table, and Coel is kind of just like kind of staring down at her food, finally making time to eat from her food. But then she kind of like glances over like at you, Briar, and then like this slightest like ornery smirk, like we got in trouble, but we got away with it also.
I'm gonna give her a wink.
Does Rowan notice that?
Roll perception, sure.
Okay.
The most awkward
Jeez.
feast ever. A bunch of people with almost no
Just so much-
charisma going through
So
getting
much
their minds
staring.
blown.
16 for Rowan.
I'd say you'd be able to notice that easy enough. Like there's a little bit of something going on there with the exchange of looks.
Not reading the book, Rowan's just gonna give a face to Briar. Thinking something else might have happened. He's
With Martisan
feeling
involved.
oh yeah, forgot about that. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's still gonna stick with it. Yeah, Rowan would still. Just
You're
because he played
committing.
Wingman
Guys,
before.
fresh now. You're freshened up.
Uh,
All right. You see King Cantonise kind of writes some things down and then hands them to Hargar, and Hargar kind of immediately leaves the room and goes and exits the room. And after some time dining some more, you guys would have completed a hero's feast as well. So if you guys want to add those benefits and stuff to
Sick.
your, yeah.
So what kind of a rare metal is it? What's it called? Where's it from? What's it do?
Tell you the truth, I am not sure. It was a rare artifact that was given to me. It was a part of an agreement, a treaty with a people far off into the east. The Sun Elves.
Ew. The Sun Elves, yes. Great people. Super.
He makes no comment.
And she makes that nervous giggle too. Like, bro, I understand where you're coming from.
They helped us in our time in need to drive away the rest of the orcs that made it that far north.
Yes, the orcs were quite a problem, let me tell you. My dad goes on about it. We had a lot of difficulty with them as well.
well, it's good for you to make groups.
Brutes, the orcs.
Oh, brutes. Oh. Well, that's quite an honor. To, receive something of that. And Rowan's just gonna point to it. It's extremely beautiful. Shiny.
It took a lot of consideration to smelt it down and attempt to make things from it, but I think that it paid off with the splendor of some of the items. Some of them adorn the crown itself, and we attributed the glow and the shine on the city as a whole to some of these elements.
Why did you choose a chalice to smelt it into?
Of the many things, we thought it would be something that would be symbolic for communion between countries and unions of family. Much conversation is had over dinner. Chalices are just a symbol, and symbols have power.
So I'm told. Very shiny, almost like a... You know, birds really like shiny things too, I find. Birds and people have so much in common.
He's kind of just like,
right?
Has no idea what you're talking about. He's like, what the what?
Bree's gonna cast message to Asher. I dare you to walk over, touch the chalice, and ask for its mother.
He'll reply and be like, well, I think we would have to possess it first. If we would even want to do that.
Rowan's gonna look down at his empty plate.
Yep. As you guys kind of begin to finish up your dinner, Hargar returns with two hefty bags of coinage, and that is going to be some coinage for each of you. That is going to be 250 gold each.
Oh. Is it just gold, or are some of those gems as well?
It is just gold.
Okay. Okay, fair. Fair enough.
Rowan's gonna take his portion and thank Hardgar and go in for the warrior handshake. I don't know if we're gonna see him again, so Rowan's gonna say, I'll tell my dad you said hi.
Please do. I hope he's doing well.
He is. And then Rowan's gonna walk some distance between Coel, and he's just gonna kind of like bow to her. And
I would offer for a place for you all to stay, but unfortunately, I have guests arriving at any time now. We do have many guest rooms, but they will be occupied with the royal families from the different cities over the next following weeks or so.
We already have arrangements. We appreciate the gesture, though.
You're all concentrating into one area, all of the royal families? And you think that's smart? Super blunt. Fuck.
Yeah, Asher's gonna like elbow the shit out of Bree as soon as she says that.
I don't know if you've seen the defenses of the castle, but I'm not sure that we have much to fear.
Even from above?
Even from above.
And she's gonna look at Coel. You better be sure. All of you
We have
together?
defenses against dragons. This castle is foolproof.
You guys
I'm sorry for the intense questioning, Your Highness. It's been a long week. A lot of.
Oh, I appreciate
things.
your concerns of our safety, but I believe wholeheartedly that our noble guard and military force can take care of us.
I'm a message Quell.
Alright, go ahead.
If you can get in and out with Martison until anyone can get in. Be careful.
She just kind of scowls a little bit, like thinking about what you said, but like also kind of like dismissing it, like no. More of like a I know something you don't know kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fair.
Rowan's gonna go up to Koel and shake her hand and say, I'm glad you're safe. Spend
I
this
appreciate
wisely.
you.
And he's going to walk away in kind of a little bit of a quick step after he's a man with a mission. He's gonna go find Dom.
We shall be in town for a little bit longer if anything comes up that requires our aid. I believe Jathro knows where we're staying. And he'll just kind of bow and leave in a hurried-ish step.
Jathro's coming with us.
Yeah, but Jathro know deals with
yeah.
him, so
Okay,
Yeah,
so you
I'll
guys
go along
are-
too, so.
So everybody's you guys are trying to basically make your way back to your tavern. Okay, you guys make your way through the halls and with an escort, returning back to the main gate. You are able to reacquire your gear as the bridge kind of draws in within itself, and the great gate closes. The guard there returns you each of your items. And you guys are free to return back to the tavern. So
As
you make
soon
your
as
way
Rowan
back to the Cantankerous Tankard. Yeah.
As soon as Rowan sees Dom, he's gonna offer the coin pouch to him.
One thing I did want to ask is, when Dom came back with the king and Kazrak, he left immediately after, and Krun followed. Was there a conversation to be had between?
You followed who?
Before I followed Dom out when he came back in. He kind of walked.
Oh, okay.
Out and left.
Yeah, so when you were out in the courtyard. Okay, rewind. You guys are having a conversation in the courtyard. Sorry.
That's good.
That's good. It'll time up fine. It'll be perfect.
Perfect. Dom.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I have to ask, but obviously you learned something that was a bit beyond what you anticipated.
Yeah.
Would you say that it is close to what you may have perceived? Do you think that there was anything dangerous that you learned?
Yeah.
I won't pry, because I feel as though it's not my place. It is your life. I wanted you to learn of your own accord, but you agreed to it being dangerous. How dangerous are we talking?
How dangerous are you, Karon?
I think you have an inkling.
Your deity that you don't even know that you worship, that you get your power from. How do I know that you're not secretly trying to find something to control, have him be controlled and released? And how do I know that you're not some sort of spy? How do I know that I can trust you? How do I know that I could trust anybody? And he's just gonna turn around and go back over to a fountain in the courtyard and kind of start skipping rocks.
Dominicus, you know the influence of the phylactery. I know that you have a small idea of the power. Do you remember when we were walking? The crystal. Do you remember how its effect may have subtly guided your thoughts without even thinking? The night that you walked in when Brian and I were sleeping back at Balin's. You remember?
Yeah.
To answer honestly, I don't claim to worship any deity. What I did believe, I question now, so I can't truthfully say 100% what exactly I am or am not capable of. But I do know that those closest to me, that those who have cared for me, however short a time I may have known them in my life, that's something that I focus on, and I hope that it guides me down the right path.
Well, of course. I mean, if there's anything you ever needed, I'd do whatever you needed to help. And it's just, I trust people, and people stab you in the back, and if something were to happen, the things I found out, Ron, are
Did I go away? Okay, I'm back.
You're good.
My mic's been doing weird things, sorry.
Karan passes out and dies.
I can understand. I could tell the moment you walked in the room. And if you agreed, honestly, that whatever knowledge you gained, insight into your life, your history, beyond what I saw, is dangerous for yourself, let alone anyone to know, then I pray you not tell me. And the reason why I'm being more forward in giving information, although, like I said, I'm not entirely sure exactly, especially after last night's visit, but I'm going to go ahead and start to take the ring off that I just attuned to. It was fun while it lasted.
You tried.
Here. Wear this. And know that whilst you have this attuned to yourself, whatever is in your mind is for you and you alone. The only thing I ask is that you keep an eye on me.
Of course. Yeah, Kazrak was talking about this. I didn't realize we had one. Thank you.
Anything for a friend.
I think we should all talk. Let's get back to the tavern.
I agree. We have a dinner to finish still.
Yeah.
And as you say that, they are exiting the hall, and now you guys are all now you guys are they're exiting into the courtyard where you guys are speaking to each other from. And any last things you'd like to say before the party comes up to you?
I think
okay.
Yeah.
You guys make your ways to the Cantankerous Tankard. All of that stuff happens. It happened. They're big. back to the Cantanker's Tankard.
As we walk in, Ace still having his head down the whole entire time, completely in his own head. As we walk into the tavern, everyone starts to like relax, imagining grabbing some tables and such. He would, I need to talk to you guys, but not everyone. For this conversation, I'd like Jethro, if you don't mind, and Marty to stay down here.
We have some other interesting things we found out as well that I think you should know about.
I bet I got you beat.
I'm going to send a message, or telepathically, which, have you put the ring in your inventory yet? Oh, no, you're not attuned to it yet. Never mind. Doesn't affect. I'm just going to send you a telepathic message. I'd advise you not tell, even us, what you learned. Otherwise, what's the point of the ring?
All right. Still, we need to talk.
Okay, you guys can gather in a room alone together.
This time Asher's gonna like shut the door, like shut the windows, close the curtains. Before he does that, check for any birds or any crazy shit like that around. Like full on paranoid mode.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
That is a 24.
There, across the way on a rooftop, there is a raven on the adjacent building. Not on yours, but there is a raven. It kind of catches your eye as you go to close the doors and stuff.
He'll like close the window and kind of keep an eye on it, make sure it's not coming any closer.
Okay.
I gotta check.
As far as you know, you now have privacy in this room.
What did you want to talk to us about?
The king of Zehoth. I think we need to pay him a visit. The type of visit that Briar's father would probably do.
I mean, I'm sure he's well guarded. That's a lot of people would like to pay him that visit.
Other people don't have the abilities that we have, though.
Why so quickly?
The more time that we waste, the more innocence, the more Balins that die. If the queen wants peace, and he is the odd factor, if he is to be eliminated, peace can continue, and innocents don't have to die.
Innocent will keep dying no matter what.
This is
But
true.
the number is reduced dramatically.
And that is... He's going to look at Rowan and be like, that... But there's so much more going on than... Briar.
To kill it. Okay, go ahead.
No. You guys can continue.
Say, to kill a king is not just one person you have to go through, or 5 or 10. It's thousands, it's legions. We might have some fairly unique and proficient skills, but we're still mortal.
Of course, I never thought that we would go, or even you guys go, head on. I think we should take the stealthier approach of manipulation and disguise and deceive. But I don't know if this conversation is meant for all of you. This might be something that I have to do. It will be done. With you guys or without.
Brian,
Rowan's
Not
gonna be
much
just
of a
shocked.
choice.
yes, and I'm sure your father can absolutely agree that skullduggery takes time and preparation.
Of course.
And partnership is essential. Yourself?
Don't get me wrong, it's not a no. But we need more power.
We need to have a force behind us if we're gonna go knocking on that door. There's no way.
We have to find him and make it there. And that
even
would
without them in the picture, there's enough going on and within their own borders that might need to be addressed sooner rather than later.
The orcs. What's going on in the east or something bigger going on in the east.
The
That's-
temple.
The temple.
There's
Going
always
on with the
things.
temple.
Well,
You should go see Asher soon, I think.
yes, we need to go see Asher. I snuck away with Coil and Ron. Don't get me wrong. Ugh. Okay, listen. Mother Katrine is there. Asher brought Ethan up there and she would not heal. And it sounds like he was set up to lose her. Have her ripped away so that he can be back onto the side of the light and purity. So we should probably go find Asher. And again, if we're going to go out killing people, I'm just going to put this out there one more time. I'm totally down for killing Mother Catherine.
Well, we also have Rowan. Rowan made
Rowan's
a
pulling.
discovery within the
Oh yeah.
court. And while he's saying that, Asher's checking the window for the raven again to make sure it hasn't gotten any closer.
Nope, your shutters are closed as well, so there's nothing peeking in.
He's
Speaks pig Latin. R-A-C-A, Alice J.
Ron's looking over the book, kind of skimming it really fast as Briar talks. Okay. Ron's gonna give the book back to Briar. The chalice, what we're looking for, is in the king's hands. Quite literally. He was drinking out of it at dinner.
It was made from a gift of the Sun Elves.
Yeah, some sort of metal, he said. Yeah. So maybe that's what's so special about it. Maybe that's why... wants it.
I'm sure,
Go ahead.
I'm sure we could analyze it if we were able to get our hands on it.
What did they say about friendship and family and they use them for only those occasions?
More so that it was a symbol of those things, not that they only use them for those occasions.
Oh.
Says the voice from the sky to clarify.
Wow, thanks. Thanks.
Thanks, voice in my head.
I don't know. I think we might have missed our opportunity with that one.
I'm honestly still not even 100% sure on who we should do anything for in regards to that. The visit last night.
Inaction is siding with one side, regardless of how we feel.
I don't know what to think of it. I really don't.
Because indecision is still quite literally a decision. By not doing anything, we're basically still saying, hey, the little dude I threw meteors at, and the bird dude, that, yeah, we're on their side. So.
Well, mama's the word. So we can figure out what we want to do with it.
If it's even it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
You know that information is power.
Yes, Ace.
When is the right time to use that power, and when is the right time to hold it?
Every situation is different. My dad says you can go one of two ways. You can read a situation and go with your gut. You read the room. If you can gain from it or cause chaos, then do it. If you act too quickly, you could just fuck up the whole thing regardless. So if you have that inkling, if you have that tug, follow the tug. See what happens. Go with the flow, if you would say.
If I may say one thing off of your statement, Brian, not to question your proficiency, but the biggest thing too would be not just where it leads or the drop it makes, but the ripples that will come. Of course, that might be something that's inevitable.
When are you thinking of trying this? Because quite literally today, you saunter up, you touch the cup, the fancy cup, and you go, hey, we've got the thing.
Right, chalice, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's over.
Amidst your conversation, you hear a loud knocking on the outside of the door. You hear the sound of several different kind of like metal boot prints kind of like marching around the different sides of the door. And then there's a moment.
I'm going...
Okay, I can make someone invisible right now. Who's it going to be?
I was going to step on the balcony and make myself invisible.
I think that should probably be me, and I probably should explain things. And he's gonna grab the ring and hand it to Karun, like the ring that he just gave him.
I beg your pardon, I'm looking for the Fated Five. I am Brother Gawain with the Temple of Light.
Just a minute. Rowan's gonna start shuffling tables and chairs.
Yeah. So Ace, we're invisible.
Who's invisible?
Me and
I'm
Ace.
out on the balcony, and I've used my...
on the balcony. Is it nighttime yet right now? It's midday.
I thought you said it was. It's
Isn't
midday.
it midday? You guys started your day, didn't you?
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah, you guys started.
Okay. Well,
so,
yeah, that doesn't work then. Someone's invisible. Who is it?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because it was the morning, right? And then you guys sent your messages.
Then we
and
took
you
off
and had
did the
basically
temple.
because you guys had your breakfast, and then this was like a very quick lunch. Yeah, so it's not even quite dusk at this point. You can try to hide if you would like, or whatever you would like to do.
It's only going to be simple enough
So
to.
who is invisible?
Asher will turn into a tiny spider and just kind of crawl up behind one of the beds and watch.
And you said Dom?
So
Um,
Became invisible?
Dom and
Briar, because I thought you were gonna
Briar.
poof.
With everything, everybody disappears.
Okay. So it's
Just
just
me and
Karan
Karan?
and Rowan. Okay.
Brown's just
Right.
gonna open up the door. Open.
Mhm.
Willing.
I apologize for the any kind of intrusion this may be.
No worries.
What could we do for you?
Head Mother Catherine wishes to speak with you at the Temple of Light.
Us.
All or some of you, if need be.
I don't quite.
I don't know if you want to wait for the rest of
Karan?
your party. I understand that there are 5 of you, but we.
I think this might be something we can handle.
Right. Come with me.
Okay.
Very
Brown.
well.
Brown's gonna grab his backpack
David,
and
unmute yourself. So you can be a spider.
Asher's gonna scurry into Rowan's backpack and just kind of sit there.
Mm-hmm.
and
With you,
I'm gonna
okay.
I'm gonna look to Jathril and Marty. If you don't mind, they're kind of with our troop too.
just throw him under the bus.
Well, I need.
Yep. Sure. Jathril kind of like stands up and kind of like sizes up all of the paladins that are kind of like surrounding you. It almost looks like you're under arrest, but it's not. Like it's not. Like they're just like, come with us if you can. But it's also like these heavily metal clad paladins that with this like authority symbol that's a little menacing.
As I was going, I don't know. Maybe I was going to put the ring on, seeing as he gave it back to me. I guess I'll attune to it, and whatever.
He did give
time
it back
frame
to you?
it'll take me
Yeah.
to. You said you gave it back to me, so I'll put it back on and begin the process. Well,
Of attuning, yeah. Martison and Jathril kind of accompany you as you guys make your way to the Temple of Light. They hail the guards at the bridge of the Temple of Light. They immediately recognizing them, draw the bridge in, open that gate, and so it's just Asher that's coming with. At
No,
this
we're
point?
following. Just
You guys are following
invisible.
from the invisibility.
Yeah.
How long does that last?
An hour.
Oh, okay, you're good. Okay, so you guys march, make your way in, and they take you to the main hall before the actual temple itself, and they kind of travel down the left and around some of the corridors until they make it to one of the kind of office waiting rooms. And they, stop licking me. Stop. He's licking me. Stop it, dog. And stop it, freeforms. The paladins on either side of the door to that main office, head Mother Catherine kind of comes out from that office and kind of like greets you.
It is good to see you again.
Mother Catherine.
good
How
to
are
see
you?
doing well.
I am well. I just could use your help with something. I just have a simple round of questions, but I'd prefer to do it one at a time, if we could. Just some formalities that I need straightened up.
Okay.
We can only promise ourselves, of course, but
Well, how about you?
And she motions to you, Karan, and kind of motions into the doorway.
Is there a way for Asher to get onto Karun, like up his robe, while
It
they're
would be a
standing talking?
good significant different distance from Rowan's backpack to Karun at this point. So Karun, do you go in to the office?
I have no issue unless you'd prefer to go first, Rowan. And I'll try to play it off as nonchalant.
Yep.
I mean, I can go first. Whatever you prefer.
You see, there's another figure. This kind of long-faced human man in these kind of like decorated robes with like an iron collar around it. That kind of like smiles as he peeks out of the room. He kind of stands in the doorway, in the door frame there a bit, and just kind of like smiles and kind of looks at each of you, including Jathro and Martison, and then he kind of just like motions Karun for you to come in and have a seat.
Very well.
Catherine kind of smiles at each of you as she's kind of like closing the door behind her.
Yeah, so I'd like to sneak in with Karun.
So she is in the door frame. So he's in the door frame right there. And then, right, so there's his body in the door frame with her basically motion leading him in. So there'd be...
You're invisible, not intangible.
You're not
So
intangible,
then
yes. So you would be touching
as
people.
they are talking, I would like to... Can I shift myself in front of Karun as they were talking? So obviously Karun would feel somebody touching him, but knowing that he has two party members that are invisible, probably one of us, and then...
I'd say for this, probably no. Just the way that it would be like really awkward to try to not be detected in that regard by the way she's in the door. It's almost like intentional that they're making it like that they're sandwiched between him, like motioning, like just making it's almost an intentional like pressure added type thing.
Okay.
I am going to, for the first time, take Karun blind to the private channel. And I would ask that you guys do not watch the Twitch stream. So you guys may discuss whatever you want beforehand, but we shouldn't be too long. But I would like to take Karun to the private channel. And again, I ask that you don't watch on Twitch just to save yourself some
Will not
surprises.
even when we're editing later, will not.
Alrighty. So this is the point. Karun.
Oh, my heart.
Oh, it's like I understand why you wanted one camera earlier, and now it makes sense.
Yes,
and why
I
you almost screwed you up with the spider.
Oh,
yeah.
fuck.
So,
Go ahead.
Here we go.
Bye.
I have to set it to the proper frame here. Oh, we gotta pull us up over here. There we go. Okay, oh no, you're good. Okay. Let me fix this a bit here for a second. Transition studio mode. Sorry, I gotta fix my screen a little bit. And yours as well. So let me fix us a bit. I need to come down. And that can come up. Okay. And let me fix your screen a bit there as well. There we go. Studio mode. Okay. There is kind of a just a cordial formality feel to it as you see the two kind of robed individuals. She kind of sits at the main desk, and he kind of sits along the side. He kind of crosses his legs, and he has just a little notepad.
I'm sorry to interrupt your afternoon, but it is just important business. Shouldn't take too much of your time. We just would like to ask you some simple questions. This is Inquisitor Jothrand. Pleasure to meet you. I am Inquisitor Jothrand. Just a series of simple questions, my dear friend. You are a part of the Fated Five, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Yes. And your name, sir?
My name is
Yes.
Karan.
Right. Any surname or anything like that?
It's not customary amongst Laramie. That last name.
No problem. Have you, some of these are a bit redundant, ever been in Lake Grasp?
Yes, actually. Within the last month.
Excellent. Are you familiar with a shop owner named Solution Saviat?
Solution Saviat. Not particularly familiar. But I do believe we had met whilst we were conducting shopping for supplies.
But he owned a shop named Essence. I don't know if that rings any bells or anything like that.
I believe it was one of the destinations.
Right.
After the events that transpired in Lake Grasp had ended.
Right, we were just looking through some of the receipts of clients that he had and the materials and such that they purchased, and any particular things that caught our interest. We were just, unfortunately, Mr. Saviat has been under investigation currently, and so we were just hoping that anything you could provide on your dealings with him.
Again, really my dealings with him were just making sure that whatever supplies that I need for healing and such were procured, part of going amongst the various vendors and restocking before we left. Lake Grasp was quite draining on our resources during the blight.
Excellent. So healing supplies, you say? You're familiar with certain healing magics, are you?
Yes. That is my craft. I am a healer by trade, in the most fundamental of expressions.
Excellent. Any of your other companions proficient in any kind of healing magic as well?
There is one other who can assist medically. Asher.
Asher, you say? Thank you. Do you use any other forms of magic that wouldn't necessarily be related to healing?
No, my trade as a farrier is designed to aid and assist, with the crux being my magical potential to heal, as well as using more mundane approaches, healing kits, triaging, medical.
Of course. Are you familiar with simple cantrips such as Sacred Flame? Or perhaps more powerful spells, just rhetorically speaking, such as Guiding Bolt?
Sacred Flame is an inherent ability from what I was taught.
Mm-hmm.
My proficiencies are still fairly rudimentary. More proficient skills not something that I've really partaken. Guiding bolt as the means of a farrier on the road against being accosted.
Excellent. Yes, understandable.
I do not utilize weapons, blades, staves, or anything of the sort.
Right. Excellent. Do any of your companions do any magic that might be described as destructive?
Most of my companions have really only partaken with physical means, weaponry. And again, I tend to keep to my own crafts and not pry. Part of the respect of being a farrier is to guide one, not question. So,
Right. And the red-headed one?
the red-headed one, the other, that is...
The wood elf, yes.
My understandings of her practices are merely
He places the
ritualistic
notebook down and the pen down on the desk and kind of like folds his hands over his knee as he kind of like listens intently.
Her practices are merely for tending to the forests that she is native from. I know that she utilizes a whip for defensive means as needed. But again, as far as the greater outreaching, I'm still learning about my compatriots. I cannot say explicitly what her potentials were.
I should have been clear from the outset that I should be clear that any untruths spoken here during an inquisition may be used against you should it come to court.
I understand that. You are merely doing your job in service to the temple. I was also going to try to send a message.
Okay.
To Briar.
Okay.
To not set foot or deal with anyone. As far as the church is concerned, we are being inquisitioned as to our magic potential.
So you're sending a message. Is there a somatic component to this? Before you do this, we can decide it if there is. I don't know what you're casting actual message. I just want to make sure that there's not something that would
Actually,
be
let me
being
double check.
done.
Let me double
Yeah,
check
let me look for that as
this.
well. There's a somatic, verbal, and material.
Well, no, I wasn't.
to that.
Sorry. The message was the telepathy, but I have to verify now that you mentioned there's one thing that means it may not come into play. Let me see. Features. Nope. Yeah, I can't use it because it's telepathically 60 feet that I
can see. Yeah. Okay.
So I cannot see. So yeah. So no, I cannot send a message then. So
I just want to be clear.
What he said, he'll stay.
The other one.
Which other one?
The druid.
The Asher who can heal.
What else can he do?
To my understanding, is healing. I know that he is also quite capable with sword.
What kind of sword?
No, I've never been quite good at identifying the weapons. I believe it is a longsword.
Is it made of metal?
Yes, I do believe it is, but I have not held it in my hand to confirm otherwise.
Returning back to the elven lady, what is it that she does?
Well,
Hypothetically
primarily,
speaking, say you were in combat and, as I'm sure your party is familiar with, what would her role in that be?
well, namely, she would be support for myself. She has the whip to protect herself, to keep some range and distance. She has also been quite proficient at distributing healing potions. I cannot always do everything of my own accord, especially if I'm relying on magical abilities. So, combat, typically, she is in a supporting role, along with myself and Asher, whilst the others are at the forefront of the fight, more durable and proficient as far as strength and dexterity.
I understand that your group was involved in the escort of the Hand Haga and Princess Kuel. I'm sure the Crown owes you a great debt. There are certain members within the Crown and the Order of Heroes that have acquired sanctioned use of destructive magics through rigorous vetting by the Temple of Light. Understand that you and your group does not yet have that pardon.
If I might inquire, in regards to, were that something that we were to seek, how would one be able to go about that?
Hypothetically,
Is
of
that-
course, right?
Oh, of course. Custom and policy is merely my inquiry at this point.
There are members of your party who use magic other than for healing and protection, aren't there?
I'm sure that there are individuals who could undertake the learning and education
Yes or
implementation
no?
of. Actually, I didn't quite hear that one.
Yes or no?
Not from what they portray to myself.
Yes or no?
That would have to be a no.
Thank you for your time.
My pleasure. And to meet you as well, Inquisitor. Mother Catherine.
You've been very helpful. I have some follow-up questions that I would like to inquire. I believe that if need be,
do you think you could stay here? Just for a night? As I gather some more information that I believe you might be able to help me resolve.
Well, I certainly need to confer with my compatriots. We do have more that we have committed to. I am in no position to make solely self-minded decisions. I have to collaborate with them, so that at least we know and can orchestrate how we will go on to the next point of our adventures. It seems that the positive impact that we've had in some of the locations we've stopped at have opened up more avenues of aid that we are needed in assisting. So I would say potentially, but only after I can confer with everyone.
Of course. And Headmother Catherine speaks up as well. I thank you for your time.
It's my pleasure, Headmother. It was very good to see you again.
Likewise. You are dismissed.
Then I shall take my leave. I'll stand up.
And we shall return to the group. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no. Where's blind? Oh,
He's re-rolling a new character, no big deal.
Are we? Is he re-rolling a new character?
Yeah, so Blind's gonna reroll a new character.
Oh,
They just open the door. They're like, next, please. Come in. Oh, don't worry about him.
So during that waiting time, in case Rowan isn't aware that Asher's in his bag, Asher's gonna kind of pop out a little bit and like kind of tap his neck in a certain way of like, "Hey, buddy, I'm here," and then like kind of slide back into the pack.
Yeah, it's a spooter.
So,
Well, I think we've had enough for today. Karan was very helpful. I suppose we don't need to continue these interviews, but again, discuss with your group, and perhaps I'll see you later.
Oh, thank you, Mother Catherine.
No, thank you.
Get up and sling his backpack over and kind of put his arm around Kurun as they walk out, like they're best buddies. They are best buddies, but like a little bit of support.
I am immediately now going to talk to you telepathically.
Oh, okay.
As we're walking out.
As
But
you
there's
guys
this
are
one.
walking out, yeah.
Yeah. We are being targeted. They are inquiring as to our magical potential, and because we are much more commonly known amongst the people, I don't believe there's a way that we can circumvent them trying to detain or even destroy us.
And with that, we will end tonight's sessions.
Maybe nervous. I felt like I was sitting for the principal's office.
That's
what we were saying.
We're like when you get in trouble with your friends and they separate you guys, and then they're in the
gotta
office
get your
while
story
you're sitting
straight. Yeah.
I was like, okay, hopefully I'll make it out of this room so I could at least communicate to them. This is really interesting. Oh.
All right, guys. Do you feel it? Did you feel it?
Oh, yeah.
I'm feeling it now.
Do you feel it, Mr. Krabs?
Okay. So, yeah, the looming responses to that, You won't be here though, will you? Sunday. I was trying to keep you a little bit. That's okay. We will resolve that next time on Legends of Aelos. All right, guys. It's about that time to go show somebody some love. Stick around. We'll give somebody a raid. And look at the confused faces, everybody. What was it like sitting out here? What was it like for you guys? Just
Literally,
sitting in
like
silence?
waiting to go to the principal's office.
Yeah. Like, what did you get in trouble for? Or what did they tell you? Like,
You know what's
Mhm.
bad when you have a
God.
group of people get pulled into the principal's office and only one of them gets pulled in and they come out and be like, okay, well, good here. And
I think we lost.
Yeah, your audio went down real
And
low.
you're so quiet.
It's gonna fix.
Oh, now you got none.
Now you're
none,
gone.
maybe something.
There you go.
better.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Yeah, I heard what
Delicate
you're saying.
these
It's like,
things are. Yeah. Only one person goes in and like I was like, oh no, we'll go for the rest. It's like, what does that even mean?
What is that? We're good. We don't need anybody else.
See you later.
Jesus.
So,
Alright.
yeah, stick around. We're gonna show somebody some love. It is stick around for the outro here, and we'll give somebody a raid. And yeah, see you guys next time. Woo! Don't forget exclamation point candles and exclamation point Hero Forge. Get your stuff. Use our links. I love you. Goodbye.